You've never seen Star Wars?
I've seen like one of them when I was a kid. Just there's like nothing there for me.
How are you a red-blooded American male and you've never seen Star Wars?
there's
The
6 of
original
them?
Trilogy. Yes, there's actually 9 of them, but whatever.
It's ridiculous.
Have you not seen have you not seen Star Wars: A New Hope?
No. I would say The Godfather 1 and 2 is more important than all 9 of the Star Wars.
I actually disagree with that. I've never seen Godfather 2. I've seen the first one. I've seen Godfather 1, but I just never got around to
That's a good
You're
Godfather
a
2.
screenwriter in Hollywood.
Yeah,
Godfather 2 is one of the objectively
And I'm the
10
one-
greatest movies of all time.
I'm the asshole on this desk because I haven't seen 9 Star Wars
Paul.
movies.
I've seen Godfather 1.
Apologize.
I don't claim that that's a good take, though. I think
Wait a minute. When I spoiled Fredo on the boat, you didn't know what that means.
No.
You actually spoiled Godfather 2.
Godfather 2 for you.
I'm not. I mean,
Came out in 1974.
I know.
Fantasy Football Happy Hour with Matthew Berry.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football Happy Hour. That's right. Both Jar Jar and Fredo drink for free today. We're thinking about you.
Yeah.
Still haven't watched it.
1,000%.
Did you watch Godfather 2 last night?
Yes, I did.
All 5 hours of it?
You're damn right.
Plenty of time for that.
Yeah. What is more egregious comes the pull from the regulars here. I didn't realize. Yeah, thank you very much, regulars.
Disagree.
Never seeing Star Wars or never seeing The Godfather Part 2. It's a sequel.
Yeah.
And 83% saying that never seeing Star Wars is more egregious than having never seen Godfather 2.
Well, it's your demo, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
My demo, it's America.
No.
My demo is America.
This is tailored right towards your demo. This isn't like walking out in the street or the office and asking people.
Yeah, here's the problem, too. It's
You
like
brought these people here.
It's like the MVP race. You got to adjust for schedule. You got to adjust for who the person is. It is much more egregious that you haven't seen The Godfather Part 2 than he hasn't seen Star Wars. You were a screenwriter in Hollywood.
Yeah, but not a good one.
That's why you're here?
Yeah, pretty much.
boy.
Listen, that's a good question from Raise the Flags. Connor, how many more Air Bud movies have you seen than Star Wars?
1.
You've seen at least one Air Bud?
Yeah, I said I have seen a Star Wars, but I couldn't even tell you which one.
Let's
but I've seen Air
walk
Bud.
it back on like the 9 Star Wars. In terms of what he should have seen, there are 3. Okay?
Yes.
Him not seeing Attack of the Clones doesn't matter.
I agree.
Revenge of the Sith with
I'm
Count
with you.
Dooku doesn't matter.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
The 3, the original trilogy, Star Wars: A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back,
that's
Return of the Jedi. Those are the. Yes, those are the 3 that you have to have seen.
I will.
The
When the show
9 is
stops.
the 9's a bit much.
My off-season
I get
project.
that much. By the way,
It's overwhelming.
candidly, I have to admit this. I also have seen Air Bud. Best part of Air Bud is the ref. It doesn't say here a dog can't play basketball.
Yes.
That's the best line. It's the best line where the ref he's flipping through the rule book and he's just like, it doesn't say a dog can't play basketball.
Yeah.
By the way, I have some support here. NVRG, thank you. I've also never watched Star Wars, Star Trek, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, all superhero movies. I have no interest in it. Go Connor.
Yeah. NVR, G, VUP, 93, Get Out. Yeah. Come on, Nate or 9. I'm with Connor, never seen Star Wars, looks dumb AF.
Yeah, let's go.
Come on.
Yes.
These people are animals.
Finally. And they're all new people rallying behind me.
I'll tell you what, they're commies is what they are. They're all commies. Come on. Valiant Vincent, come on. Back me up here. He says, on one hand, it's insane not to have seen Godfather 2. However, not everyone likes dramas or mob movies. Thank you. Not seeing Star Wars, patently insane and unacceptable. It's part of the fabric of American culture.
Maybe. Not my America.
Yeah. I will say, of the Star Wars movies, my favorite moment across all 9 of them.
No spoilers.
I'm going to spoil it because it's not a good movie. You don't have to see it. In Revenge of the Sith, when Ewan McGregor says to Anakin Skywalker, Anakin, I have the high ground. And that just looks like that's determinative. The high ground moment is just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then Anakin Skywalker sacrifices himself into the lava, trying to overcome the high ground. It's a ridiculous. Yes.
He has the ability to leap over.
Yes,
stuff.
like,
I mean, like he's got the Force. He's like the greatest holder of the Force.
It's
like Derrick Henry saying TJ Watt. No, I'm bigger. Do not tackle me.
Ryan Scott, I didn't expect to receive Air Bud spoilers today, Dave. It's not really. It's just a funny moment.
To be clear, Ryan, So you've seen the trailers. You know Air Bud plays basketball.
Right.
I didn't spoil anything. Obviously, it can't be in the rule book if he plays basketball. I didn't spoil anything. All I did was explain a moment that explains the premise of the movie. Like, that's not a spoiler. I'm not going to tell you who wins the big game at the end. You know, I'm not going to tell you if the kid gets the girl or not. I am going to tell you that, yes, Air Bud's allowed to play basketball because that's the effing movie. Yeah. So that's not a spoiler. When you describe the plot, that's not a spoiler.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like saying,
yeah,
100%, 1,000%.
We could sit here and do 55 more minutes of movies. I don't think.
I will say this to the audience. We didn't do it. I don't know why we didn't do it, but originally when we got here, I wanted to do a movie podcast. With
Like a once a week?
Once a week.
Yeah, it would have been great.
We had a NBC owns Fandango, or they did. I think it went off in the Versant stuff. But
maybe that's why it didn't happen.
Maybe. But like we own Fandango, or did Fandango and Rotten Tomatoes. I was like, Jay and I should do a movie podcast.
Yes, but only not on like Godfather 2, on like Armageddon.
Yes,
and those kind of movies. Yes. We can talk about in Armageddon why instead of training astronauts to drill, they turn drillers into astronauts, which seems a lot harder to do.
Yes, especially given they had
no
3
offense to the
days.
drillers in the audience.
It makes zero sense.
They had 3 days, and they thought it was easier to train.
For what takes people a lifetime to do.
A lifetime. It's easier. Yeah, we can't. No one's gonna be able to figure out how to do this. But
turn into astronauts.
People overlook that astronauts are actually like some of the smartest scientists in the world. They're not just people that wanted to go to space.
The training you have to go through to be an astronaut is astronomical.
That is one of the most baffling movie things ever.
By the way,
people okayed that.
By the way, drilling is also tough.
Drilling.
Yeah, honestly,
100%.
The truth of the matter is the screenwriters of Armageddon should have given a couple more days. If honestly I think about
Maybe
it.
the plot was flawed.
It was a flawed
There's
plot.
no Finding Nemo 3, that's for sure.
No,
Finding Nemo 2. Finding Nemo
right.
2
You had a
is
shot.
what it was as well. Look, I can speak from authority here. I'm a Razzie nominee for my work on Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles. Thank you very much.
You didn't win?
Did
You're only nominated?
No, we got.
What movie was worse that year?
Oh, I'll tell you exactly. It was the Mark Wahlberg version of Planet of the Apes.
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
Yeah,
I have seen that.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Yeah,
Kind of forgotten for a reason.
I'll pick up the challenge flag.
We were nominated for worst sequel or remake, right? And so obviously Crocodile Dundee 3 is a sequel, but the Mark Wahlberg version of Planet of the Apes, before the most recent, they've had kind of a new run of the Planet of the Apes movie, but yeah, that one was, even I was just like, yeah, that one deserved to win. Because Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles is not a good movie. Yeah. Like, I'm not sitting here it is definitely not a good movie, but it's watchable.
Okay. It's not the worst movie?
No, it's not the worst movie at all. Like,
it's run of the mill bad.
Yeah, it's not offensive.
Yeah.
It moves fairly quickly. Like, it's 90 minutes. Like, it's very watchable.
That's not a good sell.
It's like ripping a Band-Aid.
You don't waste that much time.
I'm not saying it's a good. I'm not trying to sell it. I'm just saying it's not horrific. Like,
sure.
Like the Planet of the Apes one was just like, oh.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was bad. Yeah, this one's just inoffensive.
Yeah.
Croc 3 is just once it got dumbed down.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, from the brilliance of our original script, it kind of got.
We got a fun show today, if you can't tell.
Yeah.
We got fantasy leaderboard at trivia. Denny Carter is going to join us later on, talk DFS stacks for the wildcard round, and of course we'll do early line alert as we always do on Tuesdays. One last thing though, before fantasy leaderboard trivia, raise the flags in the chat. Said best space movie, The Martian. What would your answer? No. Mine is Interstellar, far and away, but not The Martian.
I've never seen Interstellar too.
That's poor. That's poor.
You know what?
I'll
tell you why. Christopher Nolan movies drive me crazy.
Oh, well, if you don't like Christopher Nolan, then you don't like any of his catalog.
Why? That's a bad opinion. Why do they drive you crazy?
It's not great.
What, do you not like Memento?
Memento's great, except then you're like, what? I'm a big ending guy. I want it to be wrapped up in all of his.
It's a great ending.
All of his Memento.
I won't ruin that one.
No. Memento is fantastic, but the what's the one?
Inception.
Inception. That one drove me crazy.
Inception's a little silly.
The ending of Inception, very watchable. I mean, there's a bunch of cool visuals in it, but the ending of Inception drove me crazy. Never gotten around to Interstellar. My favorite space movie, other than Star Wars. The Martian's a great movie. The Martian is a great movie.
I don't think it's a great
Interstellar
movie
clears.
Oh,
with Matt Damon?
I didn't love The Martian.
No, it's average.
That's the one where
a little cheesy.
It's very cheesy. It's very Hollywood. It's not special at all.
I like that movie. Am I
like
confusing
a 3 out of 5.
Is that the one where he gets stuck on the moon
He
by
lives
himself?
off potatoes for like 80 years.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
I really like
Actually,
that.
terrible's too far. It's fine.
It's just like Matt Damon saying a lot of one-liners like, "We're gonna science the crap out of this." It's not good. dude. Like, it's fine.
Ruben said never seen Interstellar. That's where the line is drawn. I agree. I find that wild.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What's your favorite space movie?
The kind of lame out 2001, Space Odyssey, Stanley Kubrick. That's an epic. But no, I love Interstellar. I think Interstellar is one of the best movies of the past 20 years.
Yeah, I agree.
With that.
Oh, all right. That one I'll watch. That one I will actually.
And also Gravity with Sandra Bullock.
I didn't see Gravity.
Gravity's
That was all right. The one with her and George Clooney.
Yeah.
Right? Clooney's
Yes.
I saw Gravity. Yeah,
Does
it's not
Arrival
bad. I like
count?
that one.
What's that?
Arrival doesn't really count. Right?
Yeah,
Great
if it
movie, though.
does, Arrival's in the mix as well. That is also a fantastic.
I like that one. The reason for my Martian take here, and again, sometimes I view movies sometimes as a screenwriter, despite the fact that I've never seen Godfather 2, they kept my interest despite the fact it's basically a one-hander. It's basically it's Matt Damon with a bunch of potatoes. Like there's not a lot. That's a hard thing to do. I mean, think about. Tom Hanks and why am I blanking on it?
Castaway.
On the island, Castaway. Thank you.
Man.
You know what I mean? Like again, like that. Those are so hard to do. Where it's just like all you got is one guy, and he's talking to himself. Anyway, it's
like
just,
Ryan Reynolds in Buried.
Yeah.
Fine as well. Before we move on to Trevor Lawrence and company, the one thing I want this on the record. Christopher Nolan, who I love. I think Interstellar is fantastic. Inception is excellent despite not making any sense. Tenet is an atrocious movie. It's absolutely horrific. Anyone who likes that movie is wrong. It's just a bad movie. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't go quickly. It doesn't capture attention. It's a bad movie. Anyway, let's move on.
All right, you got that.
I didn't make it through Tenet, so I kind of.
I didn't watch that one either, but I will make it a point to watch Inception. Interstellar. Thank you, Interstellar.
Leaderboard trivia. This is for you, regulars. We want you to play along. We do know what the leaderboard looks like, but this trivia is for you. So get involved in the chat. Let's see how much you know from this season. Some of these answers may surprise you. Let's start with the quarterback point per game leaders here, guys. And this is through week 17 because most leagues play through week 17. We've left a couple blank for every single category. Let's start with number 2, because obviously Josh Allen at the top, 22.8 fantasy points per game. But number 2 at 21.5. Keep in mind, points per game and week 18 did not count.
Yeah, so it's a great question here. Just looking at some of these other names here, Stafford being top 5 was a surprise. I'm amazed that Bo Nix ended up, because it was such an uneven season for Bo Nix.
Like a grind.
Sneaking into the top 10 here as well. So are we taking some guesses from the audience? The idea here is to guess from because we know the answer. I actually paid attention during the pre-show call for once. So
it's also on the sheet in front of you.
Yes,
yeah.
there's
Ryan
also
Oswald said Brissett.
That's actually
really
a great
good
call.
guess.
I'm surprised Jacoby Brissett. It's not the answer, though. I'm surprised he did not. So,
Ved Regular, you are correct.
Look at him with the Niners avatar.
Yeah,
Niners
he knows his
avatar.
Niners.
Yeah, Brock Purdy is the guy there at number 2, averaging 21 and a half fantasy points per game. You know, look, obviously, not having Week 18 certainly helps his cause. He missed a good chunk of time, but this is somebody that, Jay, when he's out there, and you've been a big Brock Purdy fan.
Unbelievable. He's in my stable.
Right. We're in the middle of Brockuary as well. He's had 40 starts over the last 3 years, right? 40 starts, averaging over 18 fantasy points per game in those starts. He's QB6 on a points per game basis since the start of 2023. And the argument we always made is like, people say he's a system quarterback, and he definitely benefits from Kyle Shanahan's play calling and the players around him, but he's a good effing quarterback.
He is. And I thought, even though statistically had a very poor game against the Seahawks, only scored 3 points, I thought he was fine in that game. I don't think that was on him. Like, he didn't melt down the way that he did when he saw McDonald's defense on that Christmas game against the Ravens a couple years ago. But Purdy, he's not just a system quarterback. You compare his numbers to what Mac Jones did, to what Jimmy Garoppolo did in this offense. It's night and day. Purdy's taking this to another level. And the thing about it that makes this so incredible, that he's second in fantasy points per game, is that no Brandon Ayuk. George Kittle missed a lot of time. He's got McCaffrey and he's had Jawan Jennings, but Jawan Jennings hasn't had the year that people wanted him to have. So whoever is in the system, he makes it work. Like Jake Tonjes was an absolute monster in that Sunday night game against the Bears. Yeah. Purdy, he attempts high difficulty throws and he is a bit of a gunslinger and he will make mistakes. But also the fact that he adds a bit with his legs as well, which has really come into his game over the past 2 years. He's an excellent quarterback.
I'd be buying into the Niners offense next year. This was a little bit of quietly a reset year for them, and it's amazing. They were still playing for the 1 seed. But when you just look at the log of their salary cap, you could see they had some things to work through. They moved on from Debo. They never had Ayuk back. And then you look at this offseason, right now they're projected to have over $37 million in cap space. I'm sure with some maneuvers, that could be 50 plus, 60 plus, make some moves to put more around them. They have their first-round pick. So I'd be heavily in on Brock Purdy next year.
Yeah, for sure. Especially, by the way, they could easily, if they need more cap space, I could see them dealing Mac Jones to free up some, like, hey, give us Mac Jones and take this other contract off of our books, that kind of thing. Like they'll get clever. They always do. It's a really smart front office there in San Francisco. Next year, I think he's a low-end QB1. He's somewhere in that QB 9 to 12 range for me. But just the floor is always there. To your point, he gets more points with his legs than you think. And then, they signed Juwan Jennings to an extension. Kittle's not slowing down anytime soon. Ricky Pearsall continues to show flashes as well.
Needs to be healthy.
Again, McCaffrey will be the big question here, but they've shown, Shanahan has shown, if it isn't McCaffrey, they'll find an Isaac Garendo or whatever.
Right.
They'll find
Brian
some day
Robinson
3.
will be a thing.
Right? They'll find a day 3 pick next year at running back that we'll all be talking about in week 7 or something.
Only thing with Purdy, he's been in the NFL for 4 years. He's gotten hurt all 4 years.
Right.
He is not a huge guy, and he's susceptible to these injuries. So that is the one thing, is I think he is a very elevated injury risk. And
maybe they hang on to Mac Jones too if they can.
Value him more for their team. Possible.
Very possible. But either way, right, your point is we like the 49ers. They've sort of reset, and they are getting younger. This was one of the older teams in the NFL last couple of years, and so it should be a good offseason for Sam.
Let's pull up the board again. I saw a lot of guesses that 9 was Jackson Dart, which not a bad guess because of all the high point weeks. But the low weeks, mostly out of his hands, have actually sunk him from being number 9. Let's see if we get a couple more guesses in here. I saw Justin Herbert was said. Let's see. Yeah, Dart at 9, as you see from, of course, Cobra Kiger.
Dead to me.
A lot of Brissett guesses again. Stuntman Chuck said Cordell Stewart.
I like that one. Cordell Stewart, a better guess. Aloha Bricks. Lawrence is on the list. I love you, brother. But Ian Gooday 4634.
Ian Gooday 4633 was taken.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Ian, I'm not sure what your avatar is. What do we think that is?
Is that Matthew Berry? No, it's not.
No, it's not me. Too much hair.
I think that's Ian himself.
Adam Smith.
Ian in a suit?
Maybe
is that you in a suit, Ian?
Is that Dostoevsky?
Either way, Ian, you got it right. Congratulations. You were absolutely right. Jalen Hurts, widely drafted as a top 3 or 4 quarterback this year.
Right.
Sneaks into the top 10. He's number 9 on a points per game basis here, Connor. And I think the biggest issue here for him, the drop, was the lack of rushing.
By the way, Ian confirmed my avatar is Ian in a suit.
Okay.
So that is Ian in a suit. This is a disappointment, right? There's no way around it. And you bring up the lack of rushing, which he needs to have to be a top 5 fantasy quarterback. Where you drafted Jalen Hurts, Jay, you were left with disappointment. And then all of the odd dead weeks between him and A.J. Brown. Just so many goose egg-ish level weeks between them, and that's going to hurt him then in the passing volume. Yeah,
they're definitely the worst vibes division winner coming off a Super Bowl championship in the history of football. It's strange because he has had really good games. He was magnificent against the Vikings and Flores' defense, where he played basically a perfect game. And then he has complete meltdowns like he did against the Chargers in prime time, where he lost them that game single-handedly. So very strange year for Jalen Hurts. I think the fact that A.J. Brown emerged over the second half of the season gives you a bit more optimism going into the playoffs at least. But we don't know what A.J. Brown's situation is going to be next year. Don't know why Hurts stopped running. If Jalen Hurts isn't going to run the ball on design QB rushes, he's just not nearly as much of a needle mover. And the tush push wasn't nearly as successful this year.
Well, it wasn't nearly successful. It feels like they didn't run it as much as well. To your point about that, just 26 yards per game. That was a career low in terms of his rushing this season. Less than 30% of his fantasy points this year came from rushing. And for the first time since 2021, he had under 35% of the Eagles' red zone and goal to go rushing attempts. Feels like they didn't do the tush push as much. It wasn't as effective. And I think there's a chance it's outlawed this offseason. There seems to be more and more momentum towards trying to outlaw that rule, and people talking online about how this isn't football. And not whatever, nerds like me, but people with influential voices within the NFL in terms of, former coaches, former all-star players,
It's not football to have, say, Aaron Rodgers with his hands in his pockets while Connor Hayward is, it's just not, that's not what I want to see.
The quarterback sneak is different from the tush push.
Yes.
That's the problem. It's evolved the quarterback sneak into a spam-level play. And listen, credit to the Eagles for unlocking this. Like, it worked for them for a long time, obviously part of their Super Bowl run. I have no qualms with them in this. It's just a matter of keeping the product as pristine as possible going forward.
The issue is if you get really good at it, then you're running it like twice in a row from 3rd and 2. And it's like, well, what are we doing here? Like, this
There's a player safety element that the league will push in this.
As well. No, I remember the playoff game last year, the NFC Championship between Washington and Philadelphia, where Frankie Louvu was just like missing, and was whatever 7 offsides in a row or whatever it was. Like, it was just it's just like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like, as a Commanders fan, I was like, I like the effort, but come on, like, what are we doing?
If Hurts is, and I want your projection, if Hurts is taken as a top 8 quarterback next year, I'd be entirely out. And it's not just him; it's that the Eagles' defense is so good. How many scripts is he in where it's like Jalen Hurts needs to throw 25 times this half and put up this crazy production? Do you think he'll be drafted as a top 8 quarterback?
I do. I'm going to have him somewhere in the QB 5 to 7 range as of right now, assuming tush push is legal. But yeah, I mean, I could see it. It's a little there's too thin a line because of the lack of rushing and because he's not a high volume passer and doesn't need to be. Like, there is a nervousness there about the fact that, like, he's a guy that doesn't have as much of a floor as you might think other mobile quarterbacks do. For whatever reason, he didn't run this year.
Yeah, it felt like the league figured out him and Bo Nix a little bit more this year because there's not a lot of sophistication in the throws and they just don't use the middle of the field that much. It's a lot of deep balls, go balls, and then shorter stuff. So yeah, we'll see.
Especially, by the way, there's also the rumor that A.J. Brown might be moving on. Now, I don't think the Eagles go into the season with only Devontae Smith and Jahan Dotson. They'd replace A.J. Brown, but still, who they replace him with, I think, is also would be, part of the equation of evaluating Hurts next year. I do think he'll be drafted as a top 8 guy, certainly as a top 10 guy, but I also get people saying, like, I think I'm out this year.
Let's go to the rushing yards per game leaders and keep those guesses in the chat. We left number 6 and number 7 open. For those of you listening, James Cook was number 1 at 95.4 yards per game. Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor right behind him. Then Bijan Robinson, who was at 86.9 yards. Devon Etienne.
Now, this is rushing yard leaders. This is not fantasy points. This is not total scrimmage yards. This is rushing yard leaders here.
Per game.
And it's obviously... these are obviously, I'll give another hint, it's running backs. There's not a quarterback. It's not like Lamar is in there or something like that. These are running backs.
Jay Woogie said Chase Brown.
Interesting.
We got Ved said Etienne.
Okay.
Which is
interesting.
It's a good guess.
It's a good guess.
It's wrong, but it's a good guess.
It's a really good guess.
Yeah. Rico Dowdle, Ryan Oswald, also a good guess.
Yeah, another one. Dowdle kind of faded down the stretch.
He certainly did. Ja'Cory Krusky-Merritt, is he in there? Is it him?
He didn't make it. It's not just, what was it, week 17?
If you just look at his weeks 4 through 6 or whatever it was, he was right in the mix.
And there's Brian with number 6. That is Javonte Williams.
Yeah, nice job,
that strikes me as a man who looked it up.
Yeah.
And you looked it up.
Yeah, I'll give a little love to GT1290 in the chat. He said Kyron Williams almost right away.
Okay.
So that was definitely not a look up. Nice job by GT. Javonte Williams, guys, big year on the 1-year kind of flyer deal for the Cowboys to turn into so much more. But now the cost is going to change, Matthew. Would you still pay that cost, or do you kind of get into fade territory?
I think it sort of depends on what happens in this offseason. The problem with him is that it was both volume and touchdown dependent. He's not using the passing game at all, right? 8.5% target share, under 10 receiving yards a game. So it was just basically this is somebody who got massive volume, basically 18 touches a game. And he had at least 15 touches in 13 of the 16 games he played. And this is somebody who was top 7 in the NFL in both red zone rush attempts and goal-to-go rush attempts. So he got a ton of volume, and he got a ton of volume in close, and the Cowboys' offense was really good. Now, if he's going to have that role again, then yes. If in the offseason the Cowboys pay him, he was on a 1-year prove-it deal. And credit to Javonte Williams, who proved it. But so if the Cowboys go out and do that, then sure, right? And if the room looks the same as it is, because I do think their offense is going to be a lot better next year. But I could also see a lot of changes coming to this offense. And I could see Jerry saying, I don't want to pay him. I think I can do this with Malik
Find
Davis.
the
I think
next
I can
one.
do this.
Yeah.
I do this for the draft. I can find somebody else. I can sign J.K. Dobbins to a 1-year deal and get the same production. You know, somebody like that, right? Another Denver Broncos cast off the
Watch
way.
David
Devontae.
Montgomery end up there, or Tyler Algier.
Tyler Algier, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of guys like that, right? Like, there's also my bold prediction of Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Rams next year. Never know.
Where'd you soft launch that one?
Yeah, somewhere on the show.
Sunday? That was a Sunday special?
No.
I was not here for that.
No, that was probably a
on the
launch day.
So you're retiring Stafford again.
I am retiring Stafford again.
One day you're going to be right.
Point
One of these
flip to
days,
win the MVP.
one day over the next 6 years, I'm going to get this right.
I want to clear Brian's good name. He's made sure he did not look it up. He was just going off volume. I want to clear Brian's good name.
I'll allow it.
That's fine. Are we sure Brian has a good name?
Yes.
We're going to clear it. We'll just clear it.
I've seen him in the chat. If you've been in the chat before, you have for now a good name. Number 7 right behind him, 73.7 yards. And the guys behind number 7, Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, still all cleared that 70-yard threshold. Let's see those guesses in there for this
And while
one.
the guesses are going, I'll just say about Javonte Williams, just to finish that up. At the moment, assuming he's back with the Cowboys and they don't add anyone significant in that room, he's a low-end QB2, high-end flex. He's going to be in that 18 to 24 range for me at the moment. Then K. Gemma, 89. That's a great guess. DeAndre Swift is 7 then. It's not DeAndre Swift, but that is a great guess.
Yep.
That is a great guess. And
the Chase
Roberto
Brown guess
Lee,
again?
Chase Brown, also a great guess, also wrong.
You know who got this first?
Yeah.
It's good to see. I don't think this is who got it first, but I had Aloha Bricks on the first card, but maybe I'm wrong. I do miss them sometimes. This is from Ace. Ace said Kyren Williams. You guys could share the title. It is Kyren Williams.
Surprising.
At number 7. And it's for another good year that Kyren has had, Jay. Does Blake Corum's volume in the second half of the season kind of scare you going into next year?
It does scare me. It's strange. It doesn't feel like Kyren Williams has had a great year.
No.
I think because, 1, the emergence of Corum, 2, his loudest moment of the season was probably that fumble against the Niners in that Thursday night game, which cost them the game. So Kyren Williams, but I think it's a testament to him that even in what feels like not a great season, the fact that he's still able to be 7th in the NFL in rushing yards. But I would be very concerned about Corum and that this turns into a Bijan Algier type of situation, except Kyren Williams isn't Bijan Robinson in terms of the receiving and in terms of the rushing talent. So, yeah, I think that even if they bring the whole cast back, I think you have to downgrade Kyren relative to where he was drafted this year.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Like I have Kyren penciled in right now somewhere in the 15 to 18 range at running back, 4th, 5th round here as well. I mean, played under 70% of the snaps. Like, again, the Kyren argument has always been, I mean, in addition to the fact that he's good, but, like, he never leaves the field. They run when they get in close. And so is Devontae Adams back. One of the issues with his touchdowns this year is, but, like, when they got on the 3-yard line, Stafford was just throwing a fade to Devontae Adams instead of handing it off to Kyren Williams a lot. So that was one of the concerns as well. So his snap rate, his touches per game, both down from the last 2 years. Now, still 17 touches a game. Still a very good offense. But in a scenario where Devontae Adams isn't back with the Rams, Matthew Stafford is retired.
He's not going to retire.
You know, like, I'm just saying there's, there's.
He really might, which is like, but
if he wins the Super Bowl. Yeah. Here's the other things with Kyren. 1, Stafford is fully healthy this year, and Stafford is an injury risk, and he dealt with the back thing before the season, but was ultimately fine. So there's injury risk there, where if Stafford's not the quarterback, this offense is going to look a lot worse. And then secondly, mentioned the goal line fade. Stafford threw 15 touchdowns at the goal line. That is a record, most in NFL history. That is not going to be replicated next year. Very unlikely. It's just like that's just an insane amount of touchdowns that are being taken away. And so Kyren should at least have some regression in terms of goal line carries.
I assume. I don't know his contract status off the top of my head, but I think, is Devontae Adams a 1-year deal? I think he's or did he re-sign? Because they signed him in the offseason, so maybe I don't know if there's a player option or
he signed a 2-year deal.
2-year deal. I don't know if only the first year was guaranteed.
Half of next year is guaranteed.
Okay.
So if they cut him, they save 14, but it costs them 14 in dead money, which means Devontae Adams at age 34 will be back on this team next year.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yep.
I would think so, yeah.
So, especially with how productive he's been. He's kind of become a little bit of an ageless wonder besides the soft tissue injuries. Yeah. But when he plays, it's like, Devontae Adams is 33?
Yeah.
Never
it's
looks
unbelievable.
It.
It just goes to show what happens when you have Taco Bell in your house.
That's
just
right.
It keeps you.
Right.
Yeah, it just
the
keeps,
Baja Blast.
It clearly is.
That stuff could fuel you for weeks with no sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Most red zone touches. We left number 4 open here, who is tied with Jahmyr Gibbs for 60 red zone touches. Of course, Christian McCaffrey cleared the pack. 91 red zone touches, the next closest.
I'd have thought Derrick Henry would have been above Jonathan Taylor here.
Yeah, well, you forgot about the fourth quarter where he never stepped on the field.
That's a good point.
Jonathan Taylor had 74. Derrick Henry had 64. The rest of this list is Gibbs, Javonte, Kyron, James Cook, Zach Charbonnet, and Josh Jacobs.
Charbonnet is not a surprise being there. I'm surprised that Josh Jacobs is as low as he is because I feel like all they do is give it to Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
When they get in clip, maybe they just weren't in the red zone all that much.
Yeah.
It was a low volume offense here. So let's see who the
Ryan Oswald said Bijan.
Bijan, great
Not
guess.
Bijan. Good
Not
guess.
Bijan. Tyler Algier would be a better guess in terms of red.
A lot of people guessed Algier. Looks like Vinny guessed Algier. Aloha Brick said Algier. Burks and Flannels. But Ved, you are correct. It is Travis Etienne, tied for 4th with 60 red zone touches. But he is also a free agent, Matthew, which I would think his best fantasy value is tied to him going back to this offense under Liam Cohen, right?
Well, they believe in him as an every down back, which he hasn't always been throughout his career. 10 different games this year with 15 or more fantasy points. He had, at least he's now had at least 1,399 yards from scrimmage in 3 of his 4 career seasons. Doug Peterson went back and forth on whether or not he could be an every down back. There was one year he was, one year he wasn't. But we all liked Bashal Tutin this year in the preseason, thinking that and Travis Etienne was like, nope, Liam Cohen believes in me. And so I just sort of feel like the Jaguars, given how magical the season's been, I feel like they're going to want to bring as many people back.
He's got the relationship with Trevor.
He's got a good relationship. Obviously, they played college ball together. So I do think that's I think for our purposes, we would prefer Travis Etienne back on the Jaguars in a system where he's been successful and they believe in him as a workhorse back, as opposed to going to a new system and going somewhere where he might be more of a committee guy.
What do you think the outlook is for my man, King Tutankhamun, Bashal Tutin? King Tutankhamun never got any. No one ever picked that up. I think it's a great nickname.
No, it's no Brown Gobbler.
His name's Tutin.
Simplicity.
King
sometimes.
Tutankhamun.
Yeah, well, we called him the Tootler for like 3 months.
Yeah, exactly. The Tootler.
So.
Do you remember we came up on the Sunday show and we did it for a little while, the Brown Gobbler for Chase Brown.
Well, I was here for the carryover that Monday. I was like, saw a lot of it in the chat. Didn't love it.
Any sense whatsoever.
Did not love it at all.
The Brown Gobbler is the best nickname we've
Gobbler.
come up with this year.
Weird how his season went off the rails right around then.
I'm surprised you didn't drop that on the FNIA Bengals Ravens
Yeah,
game.
you should during your parlay.
Like the Brown Gobbler
Mix
over
it in
70
during
and a
your
half
parlay
rushing
segment.
Would have loved to.
I think you got something like you're heating something up there, but you're leaving it in the holster right now.
Yeah. I was going to talk about the process there, but I'm going to let's just move on. Let's just move on.
So
they would not have liked Brown Goblin. Let me just say that.
To be fair, they'd be 100% correct.
Not much of a fight this one. Oh, boy. The wide receiver point per game leaders. Puka Nacua easily at the top, 23.3. Jackson Smith and Jigba behind him at 21.6. They're the only 2 receivers to clear the 20 mark. Jamar Chase right after that. But number 4 we left open here. And I think this one is going to surprise people. And my big hint I'm going to give you, and everyone in the chat is saying Michael Wilson. And you are not correct, because you're forgetting what Michael Wilson was like with Kyler Murray the first half of the year.
He was only.
It's not Michael Wilson.
This is fantasy points per game right here.
That's the hint.
Fantasy points per game, but the top 3 there, obviously, Puka, JSN, and So Stressy, you're wrong.
This is the first one that
Michael Wilson.
No one's gotten.
But I'll just say this about. I'm going to say this about Stressy. I don't think that's his real picture, the avatar. I don't think that's a picture of him.
Probably not.
I'm just going to say that right now. It's a picture of the frog. The frog with a.
How about Thomas Hansen said Wan'Dale Robinson?
Wan'Dale Robinson is a great guess. It's a wrong guess, but it's a great guess. In terms of fantasy
we still
points per
do
game.
not have the right guess, and we have about 35-ish entries, maybe
Devontae
more.
Adams is a good guess, Medici, but it is not Devontae Adams here.
Kwamakazi said Alec Pierce.
For the shoe.
Parker Washington entering the chat.
That's a good guess.
That's also a great guess.
We got it, finally.
Andrew Paredes, Emeka Ibuka. It's not Ibuka.
Ace got it.
Ace.
Yeah.
Ace Googled it, but go ahead.
Ace has Rashee Rice. It is Rashee Rice at 18.8 points. Yeah, that's the hardest one on the board. I think the hardest one on the board.
For sure. By the way, Pickens and Olave. Detective Drake London, I'm surprised to see him there at 8. By the way, because it felt like he was so up and down this year.
It felt like he didn't get a reception after he came back.
I know.
The final 3 weeks.
And our guy 8, CeeDee Lamb, I call him 8, at number 10. But Rashee Rice, as you see there, coming in at number 4, like when he came back, he had almost a 29% target share. He got at least 8 targets in every game he played this year except for one as well. 47% of the team's red zone targets. It just felt like Patrick Mahomes was like, when he came back, it was just like, all right, I'm done messing around with everyone else. You're my guy. Occasionally I'll find Kelsey, but it's really, and the expectation here, I'm not trying to Matthew Stafford, the beloved Travis Kelsey here, but the expectation is that Travis will announce his retirement here at some point here in the future and join a broadcast booth coming near you. He'll be a highly coveted guy. Open seat here on Happy Hour, Trav, if you're Killer Trav. We'll make a room for you.
Replace the meeting with Travis Kelsey. Oh, we're going to make a room.
We just add him.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, don't you think?
We need a bartender.
He's actually he's a big Paul Thomas Anderson fan, so we can do Magnolia segments. I'm sure he loves himself some Magnolia.
I'm sure he does. He's probably seen Star Wars. I'll say that much. The Googler. Look, Kate Gemma. Now I like that the regulars are turning on each other. That's amazing.
Yeah,
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah, well
it's
done,
like Lord of the Flies.
Kate Gemma. Yeah, exactly, the Googler. But the point, all my point was going to be, I'm just going to say this right here, right now.
You had a point.
And the regulars are here. Yeah, I have a point. If in fact Travis Kelsey does retire, Rashee Rice is going to be on the short list for ride or die candidates next year.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I could see a JSN season coming.
Here's the thing, though.
Assuming you have to assume Mahomes' health.
You can't choose Rashee Rice for a ride or die. You can't do it.
Yeah, no, it's fair. Yeah,
you cannot do that.
Yeah.
I understand the logic.
He's not going to be the ride or die. He's not going to be the ride or die.
You're not going to announce that on the Hall of Fame game.
Too many memes. Way too many memes. Way too many quote tweets. Instagram comments. Disaster.
Suddenly, my publicist is texting me right now saying, what did you just do?
Yeah. Why couldn't you go Travis Hunter?
Right. There you go, God.
Just run back Amari and Hampton, please.
But I want to just clean this up real quickly, though. We are making fun of what an inappropriate use of words that would be. We are not making fun of what actually happened.
100%.
What happened involving Rashee Rice in the offseason last offseason?
No,
or
it was
two
years ago
two
now.
off seasons ago was tragic and awful, and we're not making fun of that. We're making fun of the fact that he was obviously involved in a horrific accident involving travel, and I'm trying to dance around this a little bit. And
he won't be the ride or die.
He won't be. But I'm just saying he could have a Jackson Smith and Jigba type season where he is the main focal point of Patrick Mahomes and what we expect to be a good offense.
Absolutely.
That was the point of that.
The reason why he ranks so high as well is that
Poor choice of words by me.
Yeah.
Apologies.
One, he overlapped entirely with when Mahomes was healthy, because as soon as Mahomes got hurt, that was his season done. So he didn't get the Chris Oladokin experience. And then two, the first game against the Raiders, they were doing everything humanly possible to get him touchdowns. And so he scored twice in his first game back. He had some massive games as well. He had a game where he ran, I think, 8 for 142 and a touchdown. So, yeah, the talent is undeniable with Rashee Rice.
The talent and the connection and fit in the Chiefs. What?
I want to move on.
Whatever. Listen.
The chat is making me laugh.
I just want to say this. If this is the last show, and it very likely is for me, because I'm sure I'm getting canceled tomorrow.
You know who might be ride or die next year.
It actually might be. Yeah. Might be me. I just want to say I love you all, and I appreciate it.
It's been fun.
Speak fondly of me next year with Travis Kelsey as the host. Fantasy Football Happy Hour with Travis Kelsey. Just do me that favor.
Any guesses for number 9 while we're here?
Yeah.
No, a lot of people got this one. It is Devontae Adams. I saw plenty of Devontae Adams guesses for number 4, where it was Rashee Rice, and a lot for Devontae Adams at number 9. And he simply was, Matthew, the touchdown king when he played, which aided these points per game. 28
end zone targets. That's 10 more than any other player. Unbelievable. It's actually second in red zone targets as well. No one had more receiving touchdowns this year than Devontae Adams. He had 14 of them. He actually scored in 9 of 14 games. So while he had a bunch of multiple touchdown games, he kind of gave you a floor, like this crazy touchdown floor. Now he's banged up during the fantasy playoffs, which obviously brutal timing there as well. But the only concern on Davante Adams here, but we sort of talked about it, like turns 34 in December. Past 2 years, he's missed 6 games. Like, just are you confident that he can, at his age 35 season, continue to be as productive as he has been?
Yeah, and it's a concern, kind of, that like these are soft tissue injuries as well, which
for a couple
can
years
be
now
more recurring.
Yeah.
But I mean, Stafford and him have that rapport at the goal line. That should regress a little bit in terms of the sheer production. But at the same time, that skill has been with Davante Adams his whole career. Yeah,
he needs to stay there with Stafford. 37% of his points this year came from touchdowns. Like, he's probably the most touchdown-dependent fantasy superstar among pass catchers there, right? We talk about, he's a touchdown-dependent flex. He's a touchdown-dependent tight end. Like, Davante Adams was a touchdown-dependent wide receiver 1 because he had more than 75 yards in 3 games. That was it. Like, he was never a volume guy, but he got you there with the scores.
All right, we're going to take our first break. When we're back, Denny Carter joins the show with some DFS tips for the wild card round as we go through stacks right after this.
Where does it get just really hard, really difficult?
Oh, man. Like
Everybody's laughing. Hey, Casey, for you, you're adding another event to your Milan program. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, last Winter Olympics, COVID kind of took my opportunity to get a full 1,500 in and 5K. So just looking forward to kind of getting my first real touch of the Olympic experience.
And, of course, the fantasy football loss has you carrying that backpack. And so it's even here in the interview. It's going everywhere, right?
It's going everywhere. You'll see it at the games for sure.
American speed skater Casey Dawson qualified for the Olympics in Milan this past weekend, but that didn't save him from his fantasy punishment, as we all saw.
That's a pretty good one.
I like that.
Is the league filled with Olympic athletes? Because it's just like, you have to, if you finish last, you have to carry a pink backpack to a national television interview. But if you have it, you have to just bring it to your cubicle. Like, I mean, like who else is in the league?
The stakes were much higher for Casey.
Yeah, I want to know that. Like,
the stakes are pretty high for our last place finisher as well.
Yeah.
Denny Carter. Great to have Denny Carter back on the show. Denny, we haven't come up with a way of redemption for you. You have something.
I've got your punishment, Denny, for finishing last in the League of Assholes. Would you like to hear what your punishment's going to be?
I wouldn't, but I guess you're going to tell me anyway. Go ahead.
Your punishment is that you have to play in the league next year. Yeah,
that's fair.
You have to another year with us assholes
and still come on the show.
Yeah, it's miserable.
Week.
Oh, I thought the Chargers hat was his punishment. Oh, no, it was something else. Okay, gotcha.
Hey! I like my Chargers hat. It's powder blue. Connor likes it. You know,
I was a big fan.
Everybody likes
powder blue, the best in the NFL.
Make him cut. You know what we should do?
I think the last time I checked that league was like late October. That's how my team was doing. So treated very unfairly during the draft, by the way. by Matt.
Fair enough. You should have made a triumphant rise like I did to 7th place. But maybe what we can do is we can relegate Denny to the regulars league.
Oh, that would be good.
Regulars. All the regulars are forming their own league in the chat, Denny. You, of course, the star of the Roto World Q&A on YouTube every single week. And so maybe that's what we do is we relegate you down.
King regular comes up to the League of Assholes.
And then we bring whoever wins the power rankings, the Peacocky for regular of the year gets to be in our league.
I like this.
Yeah, maybe that's what we should do.
Sounds like a job that Steven and Damien will have to vet.
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna get producer Steven and
parachuting Denny in to Regulars Island. Yeah. Denny can hold the conch. He can teach them how to make fire.
Yes,
with sticks.
Fantastic. Denny, have you seen Star Wars?
Okay, yes, I have. But Connor's right. I mean, come on, they're not actually good. Right?
Wow,
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Denny.
Oh, wow. I can't. I've never been able to get into them. I'm sorry.
Thank you,
but
Denny.
You've seen him.
Vindicated.
That's all that cares. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I've seen him.
All right, Denny's here for a reason.
Wildcard weekend, many reasons. One, to defend me. Thank you, Denny. I really appreciate that. And number two, for all of you that can't give up fantasy and want to still play in the playoffs, of course, there's daily. Denny, Wildcard weekend, stacks in daily fantasy. For those trying to start to get into daily fantasy, why are stacks so important in this exact format?
Yeah, so, if you need more fantasy in your life for the Wildcard weekend, there are 6 games. It actually makes for a pretty good slate of DraftKings games. I think what we want to do here, if you're in a large field tournament, so you're talking about, 5,000, 10,000, even more people that you're competing against every week, what you want to do, you want to stack not just a lineup, but a game, right? So paint a story, create a story in which, one quarterback and his pass catchers go off, and then a pass catcher or running back or tight end or on the other team has to therefore also go off, has at least the chance to have the game script, the pass-heavy game script to go off as well. So make your lineups like you're right, as if you are correct. And I know that's hard. I know you want to be safe. You want to be super safe. But we're going to talk about it here. Stacking is important here if you want to get your lineup to the top.
So the game that comes to mind for me, Denny, because it has far and away the highest point total of Wildcard weekend, is Buffalo going to Jacksonville. The total is 52.5. What would be the strategy for this board?
Yeah, so, you could go a lot of different ways here. I think that the Bills stacks here will be relatively unpopular because of the Buffalo offense struggling over the final month of the regular season. And that means that you might get Josh Allen at a slightly reduced rostership on a 6-game slate. Now, that is significant, okay? That's a strategy I like going into this weekend. If he goes off, that means Dalton Kincaid maybe comes along. That means maybe Khalil Shakir, maybe one of the other secondary or tertiary pass catchers for Buffalo also comes along, right? So you bank on that, and then who's coming back for the Jags in that stack? I say Travis Etienne, because the Bills can be attacked and have been attacked via the ground all season, and Etienne obviously a good candidate for 20 touches.
Yeah, there's no question about it, especially given this game is at home. Like to me, if I'm Liam Cohen, just run the ball, keep Josh Allen off the field, and batter them because they are bad at defending the run. And so I actually think a reverse too. I think a Jag stack in that game is interesting with Parker Washington, with Brenton Strange if you want to punt at tight end as well. Travis Etienne, of course, as well.
Denny, the game with the lowest point total, of course, the Texans going to Pittsburgh, just 39.5 right now on DraftKings. But maybe you could find some value in this game because of the prices?
Yeah, so the Texans offense has been quiet pass heavy for much of this season. Teams are leaning toward the pass against the Steelers. Nico Collins is the kind of receiver that gives the Steelers fits, a boundary receiver, a big receiver. I like him a lot here. So if you think Collins is going to have a big game, then you throw in Stroud, maybe you throw in Dalton Schultz, and you can get all of those points from your Texans stack. You run it back with Kenneth Gainwell, who has 35 targets over his past 5 games. He's been targeted on 28% of his routes. That's a lot.
Yep, no, I like it. Stroud is very high variance. We saw in that chart against your Chargers a couple of weeks ago, him connecting on those deep balls. And we've seen as well the Steelers, their secondary is vulnerable to getting torched. We saw what Zay Flowers did on Sunday Night Football. We also think back to Joe Flacco doing what he did with Jamar Chase in that Thursday night game.
The Niners having to travel to Philly for the first round of the playoffs here, Denny. And credit to the Niners, they've dealt with a ton of injuries on defense this year. But maybe that benefits building an Eagles stack in this round?
I think so. And look, am I wild about building an Eagles stack? I'm not. Considering how Jalen Hurts and the Eagles looked over the past 3 or 4 weeks. But that means that everybody else is going to be fading them too. So you got to embrace variance, embrace uncertainty here. If you think Hurts is going to have a big game, then you throw in A.J. Brown, you throw in Dallas Goedert, maybe Devontae Smith. A.J. Brown has a particularly good matchup against a Niners defense that really doesn't play much too high safeties. And A.J. Brown can get there pretty easily on 1 or 2 deep shots against a defense that doesn't guard against that sort of thing. So consider him. You run it back with CMC, you get a bunch of targets. This is an interesting one to stack, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think the Eagles are so Jekyll and Hyde, but when it comes to the playoffs, when it comes to them playing at home, they seem to be able to turn it on. So I do think there's probably some opportunity there. As a Commanders fan, I desperately hope that the Eagles lose in the first round here. I don't think they're gonna.
All right, we're going to take one more break. Denny, thank you so much for joining us. Really good stuff from you, as always. We got early line alert during last call after this.
Yeah, and we'll put Medici in touch with you about draft date next year.
All right, I'm
Medici's
ready.
in the league, I'm sure.
Aloha, Bricks.
Aloha, Bricks.
Maybe Ved.
Yeah, Ved.
Rhinos,
hey, Gemma.
Walls. There you go.
Stuntman Chuck, where you at?
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins.
Oh, look at that. The AI voice we're using now is English. Impressive.
5 minutes later.
By the way, it wasn't an AI voice. It was Jay Croucher. I apologize, Jay, if you're watching.
Wow.
Oh, no.
I'm speechless.
English.
By the way, yeah, first
There's
off.
a lot of problems there. A lot of problems there. AI.
Doesn't sound like an AI voice.
He's not British.
He's not British.
He's worked here for 5 years?
5 years.
That's half a decade.
Yeah, you would think so. I mean,
Struggling.
yeah,
It's
I understand Florio thinks you're one of the little people, and it's
Yeah.
fair. It's a fair assessment, but just, we have to understand.
Yeah, Phil called it out.
The AIler.
Yeah, Jay, your coworker Mark. This is the Philo B 25. Jay, your coworker Mike Florio did you dirty this morning. He called your voice AI doing a DraftKings ad. Maybe the
AIler.
AIler.
Yeah, not the ailer.
Yeah. Also the AIler.
The AIler
from
can be
that
your new
insult.
villain name.
Yep. Yeah, it's problematic, but fortunately, and it would have stung if this was the other way around, but Mike Florio did not vote for Joe Flacco Comeback Player of the Year, so he'll always be okay with me.
Oh,
fair enough.
That's a good one.
Very generous of you. Very, kind.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code FFHH when you sign up.
DraftKings Sportsbook. Oh, the crown is yours.
Crown is yours.
All right,
That
fellas.
was AI.
Last call. This was not. Early line alert. Jay, what do you like?
I'm going to take the Niners plus 4.5. I agree, Matthew. I think the Eagles likely win. I just think it's going to be close. I think the Niners offense is going to look better than it did against the Seahawks. Expecting Trent Williams back, Ricky Pearsall, chance to be back as well. I just don't trust the Eagles offense to score enough to blow out San Francisco.
Kind of following the same path as you over in the AFC. Give me the Chargers plus 3.5, right? New England, really good team. Not expecting a huge letdown here, but 3.5 is still a lot of points in any playoff matchups. Justin Herbert 0-2 in the playoffs. You know he's going to want to bring his absolute best. And can that offensive line hold up enough? The Patriots, for all their greatness, not a great pass rushing team. I expect the Chargers to keep this game close.
Yeah, I'm going to take the under in the Jacksonville-Jaguars-Bills game. It's 52.5. That's a high line. I feel like in the playoffs, teams play conservative, and I think both teams are going to want to go run heavy. You've got a good defense in Jacksonville, and I do think the Bills' defense shows up a little bit. We talked about this earlier in the show. We think the Jaguars will run a lot to try to keep Josh Allen, so I think less possessions as well. Give me the under 52.5 in Jags-Bills.
Yep, I like it. Give me
We got some news here, guys, during the show. Cliff Kingsbury will be moving on, or it kind of feels like a mutual moving on here for new opportunities.
So he'll probably be in the head coaching mix and or be a offense coordinator somewhere else. Him and the Commanders deciding to mutually part ways. I'm a little sad about this because I actually thought for all the issues the Commanders had this year, the offense wasn't really one of them. They got good production out of their backup quarterback, So I'm sorry to see Cliff go. Did a great job with Jaden Daniels. Wish him well in the future. We'll have to decide. We'll figure it out once the Commanders name a new OC, which will come in a while. It's closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. For Jay and Connor, I'm Matthew. We are back on Thursday. Go to GuillotineLeagues.com. Join the playoff league. Peace out.